Hey everybody, how y'all doing today? Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys are enjoying your day. Thanks so much for watching my videos. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the video. I would appreciate it. It means a lot to the channel. So today we're going to talk about another episode of Kenneka, concerning the Kenneka Jenkins case. Today we're going to talk about a true crime story, the true crime story of Kenneka Jenkins, like I said, that has turned into not only an urban legend, but also a precautionary tale, right? So, in our last video, as in the other video before that, also I have been giving you guys my interpretation as to what I believe happened to Kenneka Jenkins on the night that she went missing from a group of friends and was found dead in a freezer. So today we're going to talk about the suspects, right, or the suspected, per the title of the video. Now, the reason why I want to talk about the suspects is because on my last video, if you guys can remember, um, I mentioned a content creator what that was going around, pretty much launching a smear campaign against Kenneka's mom. I don't know if it's just to get clicks and views. I don't know if it's because the woman stopped talking to him via Instagram. I don't know if he just wants something to talk about, and I also don't know. And clearly, from the comments in some of my in the videos, some of you guys believe that Kenneka Jenkins' mom actually played a role in her death, but that is absolutely illogical and is non-factual. And I laid that out in the other video. So, but today, and because of that reason, today, like I said, I want to talk about some of the suspects, right? Because I've been telling you guys in both of my prior videos who I think was set up Kenneka, and also I think that it's two different crimes committed against her, very sinister crimes committed against her in the same night, right? So, okay, let's get started with the suspects. Now, the first suspect I want to mention is Irene. The reason why I want to mention Irene is because if you guys can remember, if you guys have been following the case, you will remember that when the case first hit the internet, everybody suspected Irene of playing a part in Kenneka's death. It was Irene's birthday party. Um, and Kenneka and her friend Shamaya, Monifa, and Bree came to the party at the Rosemont Hotel. 30 minutes after going to the party, Kenneka was ready to leave. But like I said, everybody forgot about Irene as the story went on. Um, I I had to circle back around because I remembered, and it took me a long time to find it, but I remember a post that was put up on a video that came from Irene's Facebook page. Now I don't know if this was a fake Irene page or if Irene really wrote this, or I don't know, but the post was put up and talked about, and I want to talk about that Facebook post again because it's very pertinent, because it don't matter if Irene wrote the post or not. It is very telling. The post is very telling, and so for that reason, Irene is our first suspect today. She's not the number one suspected, but I'm not going in any kind of order. So let me find the post. So it's a pretty long post, and like I said, this is from Irene Roberts, either a fake page or an actual page from Irene Roberts, right? But I don't know if Irene wrote it, like I said, or somebody else wrote it. But it says, I'm sure you guys can read it, but I read a little bit of it. It says, okay, so this is supposedly Irene, giving her account of the events of the night, right, and what was going on behind the scenes. So it says, okay, so we all getting ready to get effed up, right? She says, but we needed Nakers at the party, and it was my 19th. It was her 19th birthday. So of course A B was gonna get smacked that night. Okay. Says, but everything was going well until Vontarius brought all of them GD boys. Now pay attention, all of them. Now GD is a gang, right? Vontarius brought all of them GD boys in the room, and they asked us, was we thoughts? And Kenneka said, heck no. Said, that's not how I get down. That's what Kenneka said to the GD boys. She said, and after that, everything went left because I had brought the wrong crown, I guess, crowd to my party. But we was just trying to turn up and we was just trying to turn up, and who would expected something like this to happen all in one night? Question mark. She says, but or the person says, but nobody was all wording Kenneka during my live video, which is true. It was found. Now a lot of people are saying that Kenneka, when she was laid on the bed, she was getting all worded. That was proven not to be true. And it never looked like that in the first place to me. But people were when it comes to an urban legend, um, people were dissecting the videos and looking at them for hours and hours. And if you look at a thing for hours and hours, after a while, you're going to start drawing your own conclusions, right? But I never believed that she was getting all word on the bed behind Irene. I never believed that. So anyway, it says nobody was already doing my video. She said, and I only went live to try to throw a hint. Um, if you don't catch my body language, then you wouldn't. She said, if you don't catch my body, then you wouldn't understand. She said, I was really crying under them glasses the whole time. But my thing is, why were you crying really, Irene? So she says, so next thing you know, me and Nika was in was in the own Snapchat, and two boys run, and after we done recording, and was trying to keep Kenneka in there, talking about I want to holler at her. I'm assuming the boys ran in the room and they were talking about they want to holler at her. She said an S, but I'm not. I'm thinking Fender lie. Child. She was a little tipsy, but wasn't sloppy drunk. Now we know that Kenneka, we saw Monifa pour her a drink in the bathroom. We only saw her with one cup in her hand, and we found out later that she had been drugged, right? So she wasn't tipsy, she had been drugged, in my opinion. She says, I didn't let I didn't let I guess them from the bathroom until MF was moved around with their thirsty A's, for real, for real. She said, but all I can remember, Kenneka being behind me and us telling her, she's talking about on the bed, I'm assuming, and us tried to enjoy herself, us telling her, I guess, to try to enjoy herself. Y'all gotta, I'm just reading it like it says, y'all. She said herself, and she said she wasn't that drunk, and that we was that, I guess, y'all, they was that drunk, I'm assuming. Anyway, she said, so I turned back around to talk to Vontarius about him and his, I guess, boys, and S, because Kenneka ain't feel comfortable, and turned back. Now also, we saw the when the police got the phones from the girls, we saw that 30 minutes into the party, Kenneka texted Shamaya and she was ready to go. And we're gonna talk about why I believe she was ready to go, right? More comfortable, and turned back around after 5 minutes and she was gone. She said, I never walked her out the door. We know that we know that Monifa and Shamaya walked her out the door, right? She said, I never watched her get all worded. She said, I didn't set her up. She said, I walked around the whole. Now remember this sentence. I I never watched her out the. She said, I never walked her out the room. She said, I never watched her get R-worded. But remember this part right here. I didn't set her up. I walked around the whole hotel looking for her, because I was familiar with the hotel. Because I now see, the thing is, um, right here, we did not have no video footage of Irene walking around the hotel searching for Kenneka. So I find that statement very interesting. She said, I was familiar with the hotel because I worked there. She says, that's how I was able to get the room for the night. And also we found out that um the rooms were paid for with a fraudulent credit card, right? She says, but I couldn't find her and nobody wanted to help, so I left it alone. Was a couple of minutes with a couple of minutes, then got right back to looking. Like I said, I haven't been able to find any video of Irene looking for Kenneka. There's video of Monifa and Shamaya and Killer and what's his name, Man or whatever his name was, or Stacks or whatever his name was, looking for Kenneka. But I can't find any footage of Irene going floor to floor looking for Kenneka. But anyway, she says, so I left it alone and got right back to looking. She says, come to find out these boys was plotting this S the whole time. Pay attention to this. These boys was plotting this S the whole time on some OA beef Kenneka brother had with them boys. Now, them boys she talking about is the GDs, right? She mentioned, and also, uh, and also, Kanika's brother was from another gang. I think it was called the Vice Lords, maybe. I can't think of, but Kanika's brother was a rival gang, right? So let me go and finish reading this, right? On some old beef Kanika brother had with them boys. She said, so after all this S, I was looking for her. I was looking for her for hours while our other friends sat in the end's face. Now, see, I don't even understand why this part is wrote when there's video of Shamaya and Monifa supposedly looking for her, or were they trying to chase her down is my question, but no footage of Irene looking for her, right? She said the boys was ready to leave all of a sudden. Next thing you know, the thing was and you and shut everything down. I don't even know what that means. But we still couldn't find Nika. I'm bugging like an MF cause she something Nika bugging because she was my responsibility. Because she was my responsibility. She goes on to say Vonturius had agreed to set us up. Now I don't even now see here's this is very interesting. Vonturius had agreed. Vonturius had agreed to set us up for $200, and they were supposed to rob us all. But Kanika disappeared, so I think the little scam was already done. And they was trying to bail the hotel. Now, who is they? Is she talking about Shamaya and Monifa and herself being set up for $200? See, this is where the $200 theory came from, right? When people were talking about Monifa them had set her up for $200, right? She said that's all I know. She said I don't know how she gone in a I don't know what that means. She said, but I have everybody who was their address. Trust me, I didn't kill my best friend. Hashtag Kanika World. So that was the Facebook post that everybody was talking about, especially because they mentioned the $200 and the setting up part as well as the gangs and the gut. Now I find something now. Okay, so that's that, right? So let's go on to our next suspect, right? So our next suspect is Ty Roland. Now, if you can remember, this guy was had the hotel room on the other side. There were two hotel rooms to the party, and he was on the other side of the hotel room. And some people were saying that he was one of the leaders from the rival gang that wanted to do something to Kanika, right? And it's suspected that he may have given uh Monifa and Shamaya as well as Irene $200 to probably drug her, and to set her up so they can all word her in retaliation for them being against Kanika's brothers, rival gang or whatever, if that makes sense, right? And so I'm not sure of all the vernacular when it comes to gangs, but I'm doing the best I can. Y'all work with me, right? So this is our number two suspect. We know that this video right here was also placed on Facebook. I have always wondered about this guy. People spoke about him a little bit, but he is from the gang that is a rival against Kenneka's brother's gang. If I'm using the proper vernacular, so he is our number two suspect, right? So, is he the one that allegedly gave Monifa the pill to put in Kenneka's drink? Did Monifa already have the pill because it already had been planned that they were going to set her up to be harmed in some kind of way via this rival gang, right? And so, but we know that the it didn't go as planned, because number one, 30 minutes after they got there, Kanika was ready to go, and number two, when Monifa and what is her name? When Monifa and Shamaya left her in the highway, I think Kanika got up. I think Kanika was trying to flee. I think Kanika knew by that time that she had been drugged. I think she was in her right mind. I do not think she was drunk. And this guy may have been the one to orchestrate that. I forgot to show. This is Irene, with her hotel attire on, and we know that she worked in a hotel, right? So that guy, like I said, is our second suspect. I think when it comes to the Facebook message, whether Irene wrote it or not, it has some truth in it, especially the part where they were talking about that they were giving $200 to set her up, but it went awry. The reason why it went awry is because Kanika got up and left from out of the hallway when Monifa and Shamaya went back in the room to get her phone from Irene, right? So maybe that was the setup part right there. But I think Kanika knew something was going on, and like I said, she tried to get away, right? So while in the process of her trying to escape, I think she was trying to leave the hotel because with friends like that, you don't need enemies, of course. My next suspect, my number one suspect, is of course the maintenance man, right? I mean, not the maintenance man, the security officer. So I found this footage right here, and I only do still shots, but this footage right here I found it interesting that in all of these videos that I watch, when Kanika is either going up and down the hall, the security guard is always behind her. And I find this, and I pulled up these videos right here because on the last video I showed the security guard, he had a security guard shirt on, but he didn't have a jacket on, right? And this is later on in the night, around about 5 or 6 o'clock, or whatever the timestamp says. And he now has a jacket on, right? So I'm thinking, did you put that jacket on, shortly before going into the freezer, or, coming out of the freezer? The fact that he's got this jacket on over the top of the long sleeve security guard shirt, is very interesting to me. Now, the security guard, he is my number one suspect, right? And we have also suspected that when we were watching video after video, that we know that the footage was edited, right? We realize that by now. And I've always thought that when Kanika is by the door, when she's going into a lot of people said that wasn't the men's bathroom that Kanika was going in, but yes, it was, because there's also footage when Shamaya and Monifa and the two boys were looking for Shanika, when they were looking for Kanika. The reason why we know that that is a men's bathroom, because during them looking, Shamaya is going to go in what I believe is the women's bathroom. She goes in this bathroom and she comes right back out. And so that is why I believe that is the women's bathroom. I hit the wrong photo. But like I said, every time Kanika goes down one hall, the security guard is always behind her. I find that very interesting. And they were searching for her hours and hours. I mean, you mean to tell me that no? Now there's a whole night staff full of people and nobody found Kanika. Nobody seen her, but security. This is Shamaya, and looks like Bree and one of the guys, right? This is her going towards the bathroom, right? Going through towards the women's bathroom. This is what I believe, because the other bathroom is the men's bathroom. And if y'all can remember on that other video, this is her leaving out of the bathroom. This is her walking towards the other um towards Bree and them, because she done came out of the bathroom. Kenneka was not in the bathroom, so this is her walking back towards the other friends, right? And so, like I said in that other video, showed you that video where it looked like there was a shadow in the video, and I'm wondering if somebody, they edited out somebody, kind of, helping her, down the hall, right? Because in some of these videos, she's clearly, so out of it that if she leans any further back, she will fall on the ground. So, in my opinion, like take for instance this video right here, this still shot right here. She's leaning back so far that somebody has to be holding on to her, or she will fall to the ground. That's how far she's leaning back. You see that? Somebody has to be holding on to her. And what is that shadow behind her? I think that shadow, and there's a little white part looking like it's on the arm. That is not her arm. I think that is the security guard's arm. Like I really do, before he put that jacket on. Because she's leaned back so far, somebody has to be holding her up. There's no way that, and she's very, very intoxicated and she's leaning back like that without somebody behind her to catch her, she's going to fall. And so that's the reason why I say this guy is my number one suspect. I think that they even edited out the kitchen video when she was walking through the kitchen. I think that he was, probably done told her, "Here, I help you get out," and all of this and all of that, right? Or whatever he said to get her to walk through the kitchen. Even that video was edited. And he may have even been assisting her, um, walking through the kitchen. Now on this shot right here, I found it very interesting because it seems like he's frustrated with something. Why else would he be holding his hands like out like it? Because in the video, he's like waving his hands back and forth in frustration. If you look at his right hand over here, he's got a look like a tissue or some kind of some kind of handkerchief in his hand. And I forgot the take the shot of the part to where he's got this tissue up to his nose. And I'm like, does he have a cold? Was Kenneka fighting when he allegedly led her to the freezer to all word her and just pretty much assault her and then try to put her clothing back in place? And did he hit his nose some kind of way? Because he's clearly frustrated, in this video, right? And so, like I said, these are the suspects, in my opinion. We know that, like I said, I think two different crimes were committed against Kenneka. I think the first crime that committed was Monifa and maybe even Bree, but definitely Monifa and Shamaya and Irene um set her up. They were given $200 because that rival gang was going to do something to her in retaliation for them not liking her brother, which was in the other gang. We I feel like Monifa, which had known Kenneka since the third grade, she was a friend of me. She's not a friend. I think that she always felt like she was in Kenneka's shadow. You know what I mean? And another reason why I think that the guard is the number one suspect is because how in the world did Kenneka get these doors open right here, which were locked, to get towards the freezer that she was found in? Is she Houdini? Like how, and the fact that she was put in the freezer also tells me that if had the police not come as fast as they did, thanks to Miss Teresa, had they not as come as fast as they did, they would have took Kenneka out of her body out of this door right here. Now this is the employee door. On the other side of this door is the employee parking lot or parking space. I believe that they were going to take her out of this door and load her into a van and dispose of her body. Now, the reason why I say they were going to take her out of this door and dispose of her body is very interesting. But before we get to that, let me talk about this right here. Because another unfortunate person that lost their life due to this horrific crime. In my opinion, we know was Zach TV. I think that Zach got too close to the case. And in this video right here, Zach is giving his theory as to what happened. And also, after this video, his house was broken into, and all of his video equipment, like his laptop and all of his video equipment, where he been had, did all the taping, of the so-called friends and all of this and all that, where he was giving his theories. His house was broken into miraculously, and all of that equipment was stolen. And he says that's the only thing that was stolen was his video equipment, right? So, but in this video, he's given his theory, and in his theory, he's talking about the hotel staff, and his number one suspect is the security guard, right? And like I said, I believe they were going to take Kenneka out of that door and put her in a van or something. And people were, and the reason why I say that is because that was, even today people are talking about organ harvesting and Rosemont, right? I think that the reason why I think that she was attacked in the cooler part of the freezer, and then her body was thrown into the freezer, right? I think her body was thrown there because they were trying to hide her body, because that hotel has been connected to a organ harvesting situation, right? And so I found this article right here about the Rosemont, the Rosemont Hotel. The owner of the hotel also owned this place right here, and him and his son was just charged with a crime. You guys can read that about the crime. I won't read it to you because this video is going on long enough, but I did find this article. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe. If you got any comments, as always, feel free to post them below. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to talk to you guys later. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Y'all be safe. Peace.